I want to stick with Phil Mickelson just for a second here, Kyle, because you were able to watch the press conference that Phil Mickelson was involved in earlier on today. He was the first player to meet the media this week. What did you take away from what Phil had to say?
Well, not a lot content-wise. He didn't say very much. He gave a lot of kind of stumbling half answers, and I don't know what is true and what is not anymore when it comes to Phil. But I was struck, Chris, by Phil's one of the great characters and one of the great talkers in golf history. I think that's part of his appeal to the broader sports public, to the broader golf public. And I was struck by just the fact that he seemed like a shell of himself. The word that I used was a silhouette of what he used to be. It was not a press conference that was compelling whatsoever. He seemed ashamed of himself in a lot of ways, of the decisions that he's made. And perhaps that's not true. Perhaps that is sort of just how he's presenting himself in public. But the guy that I saw at the microphone on Monday was somebody that was not proud of what he's done in going over to LIV Golf. And I thought that was really interesting because, I do think that Phil, among all the guys that have gone over to this league, is the proudest champion of all of them. I think he's the guy that genuinely loves the game the most and is the proudest of what he's done. And it seemed like there was real shame there over moving over to that league and being banned by the PGA Tour. Again, I don't know if that's totally true, but that's the sense that I got. And I think that was there was some sadness there based on that, just watching his press conference on Monday.
And we heard yesterday on CBS, Jay Monahan with Jim Nantz, Monahan, the commissioner of the PGA Tour, saying basically, if you chose LIV, you cannot play in the PGA Tour. He didn't say you're done for good, but as long as you're playing in LIV, accepting money from them, you are not going to play on tour. This is part of what Phil Mickelson had to say today when asked about that.
I've worked hard to earn a lifetime membership. I've worked hard to give back to the PGA Tour and the game of golf throughout my 30-plus years of professional golf. And I've earned that lifetime membership. So I believe that it should be my choice.
And clearly, he's not the only golfer who believes that. Where do we go from here with Monahan drawing a line in the sand and some golfers saying you can't do that? Are we headed to some kind of litigation?
I think there will be litigation perhaps from the guys that still have retained their PGA Tour memberships. A lot of guys have resigned those. You think about Dustin Johnson and Graham McDowell and several others that have said, hey, I'm just not a member of the PGA Tour anymore. Phil has not done that. He's one of the handful that have said, hey, I'd love to still be a member of the PGA Tour and LIV Golf. So I think there is possible litigation there. But I think the bigger decision, Chris, is what do the major championships do? Obviously, the USGA is allowing players to play in the U.S. Open this year, but is that going to be the case for 2023? The USGA and the RDA and Augusta National and the PGA of America are all have members that vote on whether LIV Golf gets OWGR points in the future, which will determine world rankings and whether guys still get into major championships, because a lot of the spots in these major championships are determined by what your world ranking is. Phil's a really kind of special, interesting case because he's got an automatic exemption into all the majors for at least the next 4 years, and the Masters, PGA, and Open Championship until he's 60, for the next 9 years. The U.S. Open is another 4 years that he has an exemption to. So those major championships are going to have some real decisions to make, specifically as it relates to Phil, if this guy continues to kind of spearhead this league that nobody's real happy about, specifically the PGA Tour. Are we going to allow him into our major championships? And I think if they don't, there could be more litigation there. So that is sort of the kind of the future, what the future holds for Phil as it relates to professional golf at the level that he's playing at.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.